I always say everything comes to values. Every organization should understand its values. Every leader should embody those values. Leadership is about values. I'll say that again. Leadership is about values. Leadership is about leaders who behave and exhibit the values that are important to the mission and purpose of an organization. I'm very proud of the values of the Meteor Network. I often say we start with respect and end with humility, and in between is having impact, collaborating, and being in service. They're incredible values that, because we try to be in service to the poor in the world. And I don't know any other organization. Well, we have organizations here that do this, right? So I'm in good company. But this ability to be in service is incredibly motivating. That's one of our values. And so we need to hire people who, in the social sector, are missionaries and not mercenaries, right? But we have to be careful, as I said earlier, on the employee value proposition, of taking that too far. Okay, we have to be careful about that. So I really do think values is one of the most important things that I'm not spending a lot of time on it, but I should. I'm not spending a lot of time on it, but I really should. Organizations should really spend time thinking about their values. When I help organizations do 360s, when I help organizations do culture studies, I spend a lot of time on values. So it's really, really important. On 360, I usually 360 leadership assessments for me usually has a massive values component. I'm not going to talk about this slide. Career development. This is how aligning the employees to the job capabilities and interests, and then leveraging teams to support career steps. This is actually how organizations, it's a little technical, this slide. It's about how you use job assignments. So you have an organization, a manager, and a team. The organization has specific things that needs to get done. Manager is accountable for getting it done. And then on the team, this is the actual execution unit. And team assignments, so the purpose of this slide, a lot of stuff on the slide, the purpose of this slide is to actually talk about and focus how do you, as a manager, how do you integrate getting people to develop their skills, getting people to do exciting assignments that are going to excite them in their work, as well as grow the organization's strategy. Again, why management is so difficult. Management is so difficult is because I have to figure that out. I have to figure out how do I give my team members, each and every one of them, interesting work assignments such that they're going to grow their skills as well as drive the organizational objectives of the organization. And that's hard. It's possible, but it's hard. I actually talked about this. This is just the data on non-cash awards, cash bonuses, and the effect, the utility effect, essentially, that's, again, surveyed and reported in workers for these things. And you'll see that non-cash rewards are actually incredibly effective. So that's just the data from something I said earlier. How do employees hope to be managed? How do employees hope to be managed? I use this word hope because employees really want to be managed and they hope to be managed. Right? Hope is thinking about things in a positive way in the future. Right? Hope is very future oriented. And so employees hope to be managed with an aspect of something about their lives, about the organization, about the structure that's future oriented. So it's really, really important to remember. I talked about this a lot of time already. Clear expectations, positive constructive feedback on a regular basis. I should be getting feedback. Just about every conversation I have with another human being is an opportunity to provide feedback. I'll say that again. Just about every interaction with another human being is an opportunity to provide feedback. Every person we meet on the street is capable, we are capable of either giving a smile or a frown to. That's feedback. That's feedback. Every human interaction that we have is an opportunity to create positive feedback in the world. Every human interaction we have. Goal setting. People want to be treated fairly and consistently. I talked about this already as one of the core pillars, sharing information. And then job, career, enrichment opportunities. Again, people want to grow. This is another big topic. This is the talent management system. And the talent management system is actually thinking about how we did this exercise already, how we actually think about this is actually a talent management system. It's called an OTR. So I'll just actually talk a little bit about what's known as the OTR. The OTR is an organization and talent review process. The organization and talent review process, most people are familiar with performance management processes. There's a cycle to the performance management, and we often get salary or title adjustments based on that performance process. An OTR is very different. An OTR is a talent review process. So we're now talking about that third piece that I was talking about. Remember, attraction, engagement, retention. I'm now in this third bucket around retention and around understanding talent. An OTR is a system, it's a systemized way of thinking about my talent management process. And what I mean by that is I'm looking at my organization and I'm doing a talent review. A talent review includes performance data, so it's part performance data, and it's also about talent data with respect to future expectations. What I mean by that is future potential of a particular team member. So talent, when we're doing a talent review, one of the components is performance management, but one of the other components is actually potential. And so when we talk about talent, there's two concepts that are very important: performance and potential. So when we talk about talent, again, it's not just about performance, but it's about potential. Potential is really important because potential is how we hire ahead of the curve. When we talk about hiring ahead of the curve, as I did earlier in the recruiting slide, hiring ahead of the curve means I'm hiring both someone who can get that job done, performance, but someone who also has the potential to grow into the job that I know I need in my growing organization in the future. And so talent reviews and the talent system, so again, I have a whole presentation on this. The talent process, or OTR, is something that I recommend as a governance tool to organizations. And so I actually sit down with organizations who are partner organizations in the Immediate Network, and we actually do this. This is an exercise where we go through the entire organization and we do a talent review. We actually go through and do a talent review process where we look at everyone's performance and we look at everyone's potential. And then we plot that out. And actually that's what this is. This is the analysis on how to think about performance and potential. On one axis is potential and one axis is performance. And this is the theoretical construct of how you think about performance and potential together, because in most cases we're not trained to do this. In most cases we're simply trained to think about performance. We're actually not trained to be thinking about potential. This is a framework for thinking about both performance and potential together, because this is how you think about talent, and you think about talent in order to drive your organization forward in an organization and talent review process.